Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Tabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a first perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my name is Charles Tabansi, handle CTABANZ, and also make sure you follow Dreamerspro on Instagram, Dreamerspro, same name, and also make sure you check out the Dreamerspro podcast we have pinned in the comment section below. Anyway, let me get into this topic here now. As you guys know, Deion Sanders is one of the biggest topics in all of sports. We've been covering it now for about a month or so. Everyone is talking about Deion Sanders and the job that he's been doing with the Colorado football, with the Colorado Buffalo, his football team. I think as we speak right now, they currently have a record because they just had a pretty big win against Arizona State. Yesterday in a 27 to 24 victory. I think, let me see their record right now. Their record should be, I think they're 3-2. Yeah, I think they have like a 3-2 record, and I saw that game yesterday. It was pretty exciting, and it went all the way down to the wire. But anyway, Deion has been making a lot of noise, right? He's been dominating headlines. All of the news networks want him on their show. ESPN, FS1, they're all clamoring to get a bit of Deion Sanders, right? And it's not just news networks and television hosts, but it seems to be even professional sports teams. Now, what am I referring to? Now, recently, Deion Sanders had a sit down or a talk. He gave a speech to the Philadelphia 76ers. Obviously, they must have asked him to do so. So he did that, and I think the talk took place in what seemed to be a restaurant. It could have been a lunch, it looked like, and he went there to talk to them. Now, what happened? As he was talking to them, he was being recorded, right? He was being recorded, and when that happened, people were talking about it, and then JJ Redick took to Twitter after that thing had happened. He went to Twitter, and he said, this was on October 5th. He said, I grew up in the NBA. The teams I was on, we had plenty of motivational speakers. Some of them I really took a lot from, and a few were impactful for our team. None of those talks were recorded and then posted to social media. What are we doing now? Is the locker room not sacred? So JJ Redick initially already commented on it, but I thought he was speaking in a much more general term, because he didn't call out Deion Sanders by name. So I didn't really make it too much about him until recently. I started to realize that, wait a minute, these comments were directed towards Deion Sanders. So something interesting happened last night. I was going through the internet and I came across a video that was recommended to me from Too Raw for Sports. He was the one, and he was talking about how LeBron endorses JJ Redick's message about Deion Sanders, because it turns out that his message was directed at Deion Sanders, and Rob Parker and Chris Broussard actually responded to this. It's something we're going to touch on. Obviously, depends on the order in which you're seeing these videos. And I was like, LeBron James? I was like, wait, how did LeBron end up in this? So I came across an article this morning from Sportskeeda. And the article has a headline. It says, LeBron James endorses JJ Redick's locker room comments following Deion Sanders' critique of Joel Embiid ducking Nikola Jokic. And I was like, what? So I went to this article, and apparently what LeBron did was he took JJ Redick's comments and he shared it on his story on Instagram. And he then said, couldn't have said it better. Straight facts. So that's what LeBron now had to say about what Deion Sanders said. Now, some of you guys may be wondering, well, what did Deion say to be causing all of this commotion? So what we want to do is we want to play a little bit of what Deion Sanders had to say to the Philadelphia 76ers, and then we're going to come back and continue on with the show. Take a listen to that there.
In life, to get where you want to go, you're going to have to give some up. You're going to have to sacrifice something. I don't care if it's her, if it's the homies, if it's the brawls, if it's the drugs, if it's the alcohol, you have to give some up. So to get where you want to go, it's going to always be something in between that. And you That's called sacrifice, where I'm from. So wherever y'all trying to get to, it's gonna be something in everybody's life that you're gonna have to give up to get it. Or you ain't gonna get it. That's called sacrifice. Yes, sir.
Nervous when you perform this?
I ain't never nervous. No. You know why I ain't nervous? Because I practice for it. Because everything I do on the practice field, I do in the game. You just get a chance to see it.
I'm talking about on SNL when you perform this song.
Oh, when I the hit record must be the money. Honestly, man, I ain't never nervous about nothing because I got a gift. God gave me a tremendous gift. Why would I be nervous about the gift He gave me? That means I'm not sure of it. That means it ain't meant for me. It ain't meant for you to see. I ain't never nervous about nothing, especially the game, because I prepare so much for it that all it is you watching me do my thing that God has blessed me with. So I ain't never nervous. I ain't never stuttering. I ain't never nervous about nothing. Yes, sir.
Mine's like a two-part question. Who is your best leader? Who taught you how to lead?
I ain't have no best leader.
So it was you.
But I didn't lead vocally. Ironically, no team I played on in pros was our captain. Mainly because I played baseball half the season. I won that half the season, so it was hard to dictate that. But I led by my game. I was no rah-rah guy talking. Although I got credit for talking, I never talked to my opponent. I never talked to him. I never talked to nobody when I played the game. I just went out there and went to work. Because my game was so loud, I didn't need to talk about it. So I really didn't have that, a leader. I didn't know what that was. Was that just a dude in front making all the noise? Or was that, what is that? Because that guy's up there that's doing his job, that's the leader. That's who everybody follows. They don't follow the guy that rah-rah. They follow that dog that's doing his job. And I did my job like no other. So if that propels me to the front, so let it be. Like on our team, I got leaders and dogs. I don't have captains. I got some leaders, I got some dogs. Every dog ain't a leader, every leader ain't a dog. I don't believe in captains. Because how can a captain have a seat on his chest now he want to go play somewhere else next year? But he your captain. That's a mistake. I see that all the time in the NFL. I had a quarterback captain, now he going to another team. But he was your captain. So what was that? Who appointed that? Somebody made a real mistake there. I don't like that. I don't get down like that. A leader leads, no matter what's going down, he leads. Good question.
So those were some of the things that Deion Sanders said to the Philadelphia 76ers, but it didn't stop there. Because Deion, during one of his sit-downs, he also addressed he also addressed the team, where he was essentially talking about the lack of competitive fire within a lot of professional athletes of today. And that was something that Deion Sanders was essentially complaining about. He didn't like the fact that a lot of these guys were running around essentially just ducking the smoke, right? And only seemed to be preoccupied with their statistics and, protecting their image. And he actually seemed to be calling out this current generation of NBA players for this, because they seem to be the ones perpetuating it. So what I want to do is I want to read a little bit of what Deion Sanders had to say during that sit down as well. And then we're going to come back and really get into this thing. So let me get into that article here. So let me read what the article has to say. It says, Deion Sanders, a renowned University of Colorado football coach known affectionately as Coach Prime, recently had a candid heart-to-heart with the Philadelphia 76ers. Sanders took this opportunity to discuss the changing landscape of competition in professional sports, especially the NBA. Drawing a direct contrast, Sanders highlighted the relentless competitive nature of basketball legend Michael Jordan. When we came up, MJ wanted that smoke, Sanders reminisced. Whoever was that dude, he was going to get that. That's the era I came up with. The comparisons aim to emphasize how today's athletes, according to Sanders, seem to lack that fire and aggression, focusing more on protecting their image and statistics than facing challenges head on. However, Sanders did express concerns about certain players seemingly avoiding top matchups, possibly due to fears of fouling out or other reasons. He believes that modern athletes in some cases appear more protective, prioritizing their statistics and brands over the raw challenge of head-to-head competition. It's essential to clarify, however, Sanders was not pointing fingers at Joel Embiid. On the contrary, he expressed his anticipation for matchups like that of Embiid versus Denver Nuggets Nikola Jokic. Sanders stated, "A lot of folks duck that smoke. They want to be Tarzan on paper. If Embiid is playing the Joker, I want to see Embiid versus the Joker, all right? I want to see that." And he goes and gets it. I love that matchup, but I want to see it. So that's what Deion Sanders said there. Now, let's get into what's really going on here from my perspective. And Too Raw kind of pointed to this as well. Number one, Deion is in a position of tremendous influence right now. When you have this much cachet and you're able to garner the numbers he's able to garner, because don't get it twisted, Deion Sanders is the biggest draw in all of sports right now, at least in the United States. He is the biggest draw. Now, we can talk about Lionel Messi, but soccer is not really a big sports in the States, so we're talking football. Deion Sanders is it. He is the one moving the needle, more than LeBron, more than all of these people. And these people understand that. Now, LeBron has this thing, and it's not just a LeBron thing. I think big stars generally, when you have people talking about you all the time, you generally want it to be that way. And there may be this thing of trying to inject yourself into the conversation. Let me find a way to latch on to this wave right now so it keeps my name going in the press. I believe there's some of that as well, and LeBron wanting to jump in because LeBron has a habit of doing that. But I don't believe it's just a LeBron thing. I think other stars do it as well. But I think certainly there's the case there. That's the first thing. The second thing, to JJ Redick's comments, I don't understand the big surprise that JJ is going through, because this is the era in which we live in, where everything is publicized all over media. It's not just in sports. People are always publishing sacred moments, so to say, for public consumption. I don't think it's a Deion thing. I don't think it's a locker room thing. That's number one. Number two, he spoke about how locker rooms were sacred, and LeBron now, concur with him. I find that statement to be a flat out joke. Locker rooms are not sacred. Number one, it depends on the locker room. It depends on the coach. Number two, if locker rooms were so sacred, how the hell do you think they were able to put together a docuseries like The Last Dance? The Last Dance had behind-the-scenes footage, scrimmages, practices, locker room conversations. How do you think that was put together? That's number one. Number two, for LeBron to be saying that I agree with this, isn't LeBron working on his own documentary as well? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Aren't you working on your own documentary as well? To chronicle your career. We're not going to get any locker room footage. We're not going to get any behind the scenes footage. Like what are we doing? What are we doing? Number three, from what I understand, Deion Sanders, one of his sons, one of his kids, I believe has I don't know if it's a production company or media company that's into media, that I believe he's the one that published the video, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he's the one that actually published the video. So to me, I don't understand what this big surprise is about. Like, we're sitting here hooting and hollering, but I believe it's his son that has the video. And I think the name of the company is called Reach the People Media. That's the name of the channel. Reach the People Media. And if I go to the about, the channel is owned by Darius Sanders. IG, Reach the People, Darius Sanders. I believe it's his company. So Deion Sanders is actually helping his son promote his business. He's helping promote his son's business, which has nothing to do with you, JJ Redick. Has absolutely nothing to do with you. And obviously, it means that the Philadelphia 76ers may have been on board with it, and Deion must have requested, hey, listen, I want my son to film this, to help him. And if they were okay with it, why are you talking? He's doing it to help his son. So I don't understand this. He's giving his son a push. I mean, did you not know that it was his son's company that was one that was promoting this? Is LeBron James going to talk about what Deion Sanders is doing with his son by LeBron, who promotes his kids up and down all day long? who said he guarantees that his son is going to get a job somewhere in the NBA. What do you think that is? So for these guys to all of a sudden now be talking about, oh, the locker room is sacred. Man, please. Man, please. Let's just stop with the virtue signaling. Like, let's just stop. The truth is, this dude is having a wave and y'all trying to ride his wave. JJ Redick talks about the NBA. How did you end up talking about Deion Sanders right now? Like, how did that even happen? Let him live. Let him live. He's the biggest thing in sports. Let him live. Like, are we being serious right now? So wait a minute. Everybody can benefit off of the name as a success. YouTubers can benefit off of it. Sports media companies, they can benefit off of his name by talking about him, interviewing him. But his own son, now all of a sudden his son wants to record a video that he's going to post on his business. All of a sudden now all of these people want to chime in. Y'all better go sit the hell down and go find another battle to fight. Y'all better just need to just sit the hell down and stop. Like, just like cut it out. Cut it out. Y'all are doing a little bit way too much. I thought the locker rooms were sick. When did the locker room? How the hell do you think they produced The Last Dance? And for LeBron to be chiming in, if you release a docuseries that has behind-the-scenes footage, you're going to look like a flagrant hypocrite. Like, let the guy live. What is all of this? What's going on? Like, you guys, you're LeBron, you play ball. JJ Redick, you cover basketball. What did Deion Sanders doing have to do with you? You thought the locker rooms were sacred. At one point, we thought sports media was sacred, but now we have athletes talking it. So what does it mean? Like, come on, let's stop. Like, yo, like, y'all should find something else better to do. Go find somebody else to play with. Go find somebody else to play with, not this dude. Like, go find somebody else. These are my thoughts. And by the way, if any LeBron fans are offended, you can go ahead and look for the biggest rock and kick it. I don't care. Like, come on, stop. Like, of all people, the dude is promoting a business that his son has. What's the problem with that? Like, come on, LeBron of all people that's always promoting his kids, like now all of a sudden you want to be chiming in on what you know it's his son doing it. Like, stop. Like, come on, stop. Like, enough is enough. Like, enough is enough. Stop. Like, come on, stop. Like, come on, enough. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments. We catch you on the next show.